believe in magic in a young girl's heart. How the music can free her whenever it starts, and it's magic. If the music is groovy and makes you feel happy like an old-time movie, I'll tell you about the magic and the free your soul.
Hi there. So what I have for you today is a bit of a hodgepodge. These are things that I've kind of been sitting back and waiting for each of them. I mean, only for a week or so, but I've been waiting to see if any of them kind of developed into their own thing. And since none of them really have enough of their own thing, in other words, to make a full video about it, since none of them really have, I'm just going to go with what they currently are. And that's just a bunch of little stories that are fun and interesting, but, you know, not really big enough to be their own. So let's start out with this ridiculous boat photo. Now, I've said before that I believe that could be in Harry's arms there. A photo that is actually Stashy Schroeder, whatever her name is. Basically, Hartford Clark. I believe that could be a photo of Hartford Clark and her father that they have kind of repurposed to be Harry and Lily. I'm sorry, that just doesn't look like Harry's profile to me. It doesn't look like his build. Nothing about this seems authentic to me. Up to and including the fact that anywhere in the U.S., that child on a boat should have a life jacket on. Now, what I did was I went back and I went to find a little bit more out about Stashy Schroeder. And what I discovered is she was actually a member of Vanderpump Rules. I don't know if you know that. It was one of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. What's her name? Vanderpump. She owned a restaurant, and kind of as a offshoot of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, these, teenagers that worked in her, or I don't even know if they were teenagers, they were like 20-somethings. They got their own show of nonsense, really is what it is. And apparently Stashy was one of the Vanderpump Rules, stars, or whatever it is. So that's who she is. Now, the reason she may be allowing whatever it is that she may be allowing with her daughter and Meghan are because if she's from that Vanderpump Rules, listen, she wanted to be famous. She wanted to be a star. She's just like Meghan, okay? That's number one. Number two, she has books in which she essentially proves to the world that you can have it all. Because she does. Because she's young, beautiful, rich, has the perfect husband, perfect life, perfect kids. I mean, you can see where we're going with this, right? This is very much so someone who is on the same wavelength as Meghan. And as such, this is someone who, could I imagine Meghan saying, listen, I need these photos because I can't share my child's photo because we're too famous and we're too important. And, can I use your kid? Do I see Stashy saying, oh, yes, of course, I'd love for you to use my kid, Meghan. That would be, I understand. It's the media, isn't it? And, I see these as two peas in a pod. And I could see them kind of coming to an agreement that benefits Stashy. Because meanwhile, what is she getting? Well, she's getting the engagement in her Instagram account as we all go and check and see whether or not it could be her daughter that is being used for the photographs. I mean, it's a win-win. This is the way Hollywood works. This is the way Meghan and Stashy would assume Hollywood would work. And what they would, one hand washes the other. I mean, it's the same thing that Meghan did for Lindsay Roth. Lindsay Roth is a very questionable individual that is doing very much so the same thing. She's playing this game of, I can have it all. And look, I'm going to sell my image of having it all to you, and you're going to pay me so I can keep having it all. That's what they believe. That's what they do. And if you were to go to Stassi's Instagram, which I don't advise that you do because that's exactly what she wants. That's exactly what she's getting out of this deal. But if you do go to it, you will see her husband constantly has this backwards baseball cap. And someone said to me, oh, who cares? All guys do it. No. Men over 35 generally don't. Those that do are not really men, in my opinion. I'm sorry. That's just the way I feel. Like, this is something boys do. Yes, when I was in college, all the guys wore their baseball caps backwards. But they were in college. Like, you know, we're over that now. So, I don't know if they use Hartford for Lily. Do I think it's possible? Yes. Based on Megan and her other friends and the Stassi person, do I think it's possible? Absolutely. I mean, I assume Stassi knows that it's happening. From what I was able to see on her Instagram account, people have made comments about it before, and she's kind of said, oh, yeah, right, Like, people saying that she's admitting it. No, she's being a wise ass. But, you know, oftentimes that's how they cover up when people have guessed the truth. So I don't know if it is or not, but I do know that it could be. And whether or not Stassi's daughter, Hartford, is, in fact, the prototype for Lily, I do believe that the husband could well be the prototype for Harry. You know, the situations that you find, I forget his name. I know his last name is Clark, but I forget his first name. But the situations that you find her husband in, you can see him always kind of being very affectionate to his wife, very affectionate to his kids. Do I think that's what Megan, you know, believes her life should be? Yes. Do I think that it's all a part of the image of selling that perfect lifestyle? Absolutely. That's why they do it, because they convince themselves that they have this life, and that, you know, since they have this perfect life, they're perfectly happy with, you know, their lives, which are really very shallow and empty. So that's just my opinion. Do with it what you will. But yeah, I do believe that this guy is the base that they use to fake the pictures of Harry. Let's move on to these ridiculous, you know, St. Patrick's Day waffles. For once, I don't think that this was necessarily Megan trying to, quote unquote, steal Catherine's thunder. I don't think she even gave it a thought. I doubt she would remember that Catherine would be, you know, with the Irish Guards or whatever. Basically, this was Megan doing the, whatchamacallit, the you know, We Love Megan thing. Being the Martha Stewart of it, where, you know, every holiday, we did it, we saw it at Valentine's Day. I guarantee we're going to see it at every holiday going forward, that she's going to have these, you know, ridiculous holiday, you know, whatever the hell you want to call it, for the fake kids. I don't think that it was necessarily stealing Catherine's thunder. Not only the fact that, I mean, she can't. How, are you trying to tell me these ridiculous waffles are going to compete with Catherine looking amazing with the Irish Guards or whatever they are? And that I saw her give the shamrock to the wolf dog. Oh, so cute. The wolfhound. So adorable. Yeah, she's no competition for that. So I truly believe that this ridiculous waffle thing was all about her ridiculous TV show and ridiculous brand, not about Catherine. But I do, whoever it was that first found this, just absolutely brilliant, that no, this waffle maker could not make this waffle, because as you can see, this waffle maker has the separations between the four sections of the waffle, and the waffle in the final product does not have that. And yet, this woman claims that she pays close attention to detail. Yet we never really see that, do we? I mean, how is it that you think that this goes? Like, Megan puts this up, she does this whole thing, she's so proud of herself, she sits down, and like an hour later, someone like Megan's Mole comes out showing that, and I don't know if it was Megan's Mole that did it, I'm just using this as an example. Megan's Mole comes up with, the fact that there aren't the 4 sections in the waffle. Does Megan just sit there and go, damn you, bitch? I mean, what is her reaction to this at this point? Does she realize that she has to be more careful? Is she blaming a flunky? How does this go down? I'm starting to think as I go through these things. Like, how is she reacting with the people around her? Does she blame herself? Does she blame us because we're figuring this stuff out? What is it? Megan, let us know. I had finished this video and it was all set to upload and whatnot. And then I came across something in my feed, a video by Royal Sussex. It autoplayed. I've done videos on Royal Sussex before. They're one of the lemon rats. They're one of the squatty YouTubers, the more extreme of them. In fact, I think he was one of the earlier ones. He's one of the bigger ones. But I came across something and I just had to add it in. Now, first off, let me play a brief clip from him. I've got a couple clips from him that I want to play.
And of course, did Meghan Markle use Queen Elizabeth's gift for Prince Archie, to make a St. Patrick's Day breakfast? The Duchess of Sussex declared, "We love a theme," as she shared a glimpse at her family's green breakfast for the holiday. So I have to show that to you. I remember when I was a kid, and probably most of you all from the US anyway, I'm sure you all remember the old Shamrock Shake, whatever they put into it. But yeah, if it was March, then you had to go and get that Shamrock Shake from McDonald's. And I'm guessing it had kind of a minty flavor. I really don't recall. I just know that it was cold, it was sweet, it was McDonald's, and that was all I cared about.
Shamrock shakes are mint, and if you ask me, that batter looks like someone drank a Shamrock shake, threw it up, and put the puke in a freaking waffle maker. It's the most ridiculous looking waffle batter I've ever seen in my life. But anyway.
I hear some music in the background. I'm going to talk over it. I don't want to have that music. Oh, and look at there, just a little bit squeezed out the side. But remember, Meghan is obsessed with being perfect. She's so obsessed with being perfect, she actually allowed you to see that, which makes that, and I got to stop doing that thing where I'm like, pushing back against everything that
she's so obsessed with being perfect that she doesn't realize that the photo in the middle and the photo on the far right could not be from the same waffle maker, because even here you can see the photo on the far right. That's the waffles that she actually made, and you know this because you can see the sectioning on it. The photo in the middle could not have come from that waffle maker because there's no sections in the waffle. And this dude doesn't even catch that. But what's interesting to me is if you go to Megan's Instagram page today, you don't see this video anymore. Now, I don't know if it was one of those stories and so it automatically deletes after 24 hours. That would be a surprise to me. She doesn't really do that in that she wants everybody to see her ridiculous crap. But if you see, it's not on there. Now, did someone say to her, listen, you moron, A doesn't go with B, so you gotta take the video down? I mean, Megan usually doesn't correct her mistakes, so I would be a bit surprised if she did do that, but it seems like that went down. Let's listen a little bit more to the Baron.
Those troublemakers say, but it really does grate on my nerves, and I'm sure a lot of other people. Oh, she wants to show everybody how perfect she is. And, nothing could be further from the truth. She's just showing people that she's a mom. She's a mom. That's it. There's no, is he there? That's anybody's story there. And of course, take a look at the face that she made. I see kiwi, I see blueberry, I see whipped cream, and of course, I see a delicious green waffle. And I'm not sure exactly what the drink is. I'm guessing it's matcha tea. And hit it.
Yeah, because the connection between salsa and St. Patrick's Day, not odd at all. Apparently, that's what they do for people's birthdays. I don't even know. I just thought it was so ridiculous. You might enjoy it. But back to the Baron.
Did Meghan Markle use Queen Elizabeth's gift for Prince Archie? Yes, that's the one. So it says that Meghan Sussex, well, anyway, they're saying Meghan Markle still. Meghan Markle's St. Patrick's Day breakfast may have been made with a little help from the late Queen Elizabeth. The Duchess of Sussex shared a glimpse at how to celebrate the holiday on March 17th with Prince Harry and their two children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. Her Instagram stories, a series of videos showed her making breakfast, starting with a shot of her stirring green batter captioned "About this morning." Footage then showed the batter being poured into a waffle maker. The results were green waffles, including one made into a face using blueberries for eyes, a kiwi for the mouth, and whipped cream for hair for the kids. Prince Harry previously revealed that his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, gifted their son Archie with the waffle maker when he was a toddler. Now, you can see those images right there. And I would like to share a little sound from that exchange, which I thought was absolutely hilarious because it is one of those things that make you kind of think like, yeah, how does something like that happen, right?
You know what I wonder about and how it happened? I wonder whether or not they actually say to these people, is there like some newsletter that they're sent? Hey, here are the talking points of the day. Make sure you keep using the name Megan Sussex until it sticks. That's what I wonder. I wonder how that happens. Who is it that sends it out? Because the fact that all of a sudden they're now calling her Megan Sussex, it's just there. It can't be organic. It has to be some like message from on high. This is what we're going to do now. Because they weren't doing it 3 months ago, even though she came up with this, my name is Megan Sussex, over a year ago. But like a year ago, it didn't stick. So now they're, starting from scratch and doing it all over again.
Asked us what Archie wanted for Christmas. Interesting, my grandmother asked us what Archie wanted for Christmas, and Meg said a waffle maker. She sent us a waffle maker for Archie.
No.
So breakfast now, Meg makes up a beautiful like organic mix.
Yeah.
In the waffle maker, flip it, out it comes. He loves it. And now I have waffles for breakfast, bit of yogurt, bit of jam on top. I don't know if that's the right thing to do. Bit of berries, maybe a little bit of honey, maybe some syrup.
Sorry, you're glossing over the fact that I cannot for the life of me imagine the Queen ordering a waffle maker to be sent to Santa, but I can't get my head around.
I don't even know how to comment on that. Once she wakes up in the morning, literally she goes, waffle?
Does the Queen know how to use a Zoom?
Yes. Both my grandparents
This
do.
is crazy.
We've seen them a few times. They've seen Archie running around. But my grandfather, instead of like pressing leave meeting,
Yes.
he just goes.
So yeah, that is the one that I can identify. I can identify with Jane Scorden. How does the Queen get a waffle maker to Santa Barbara?
And now Baron's going to spend a couple minutes trying to figure out how it is that, the Queen went and called Amazon? Like, I don't even know. Ridiculous. Of course she told someone she wanted her grandson to get a waffle maker, and he got it. If that happened, which I doubt it did. But either way, it's not a logistical nightmare that Baron makes it out to be. But the interesting thing to me, like I said, they don't even note or make any sort of remark about the fact that the photo in the middle and the photo on the end are clearly not the same thing. She could not have made the middle waffle in the waffle maker in her little kitchen, vignette. So why do they not notice this? I mean, if the royal family did this, I'd mention it. If Trump did this, I'd mention it. It's disingenuous to ignore the obvious mistruths and misleading. And the fact that they constantly do it just baffles me. Instead of Shamrock Shake puke waffles, we get this. And my question is, who took the photo? Who took this photo of Meghan from above? What was Prince Harry sitting out the window? Leaning out the window and taking the shot on his phone? How was this photo taken? And does she not realize, no, Meghan, we know you didn't take this photo. You couldn't. It's above you. You're in the photo. It's not a selfie. So who took the photo? I mean, I would imagine. I don't even know if she photoshopped herself in there. I mean, she just photoshopped some random person in there. Someone, I think it was Meghan Small. I saw her talking about how the feet are different. I don't think the feet are different. I don't think that's Meghan. I think that's just literally some stock photo of someone carrying around some weeds. Just my opinion. This was just a brief addendum that I added in, so it may not fit perfectly into this video again when I do it, but just so you know, this is what I added in. The next thing up, this is it was on Instagram, and I'm sure you've seen clips of this because I've seen clips of this, but I didn't realize what it actually was until I went to Meghan's Instagram account and actually saw it. Do you know she's trying to do ASMR? I mean, this woman, But anyway, this is Meghan's, and I can play the whole thing because, there's no issues of copyright because this is ASMR, there's no noise. So I'm going to play this for you just for the laughs of it. I mean, like I said, you've seen bits and pieces of this, but I'm sure you haven't seen the whole thing, and I doubt you've heard the audio that goes along with it. But this is Meghan's attempt at ASMR with As Ever. there you have the crazy lady doing ASMR. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, right? All right, now I have here as my last little bit today. This is an article, and I'm not even going to necessarily read the article. The article isn't important. The important thing is the headline, really. And it says here, Meghan Markle blamed by Prince Harry's pals for making him too woke before royal exit. And this is from author Tom Quinn. Now, I do remember at the time when we heard about Harry's friends when they went to a hunting weekend or whatever, and Meghan was there, and she was too much the Hollywood liberal, and they just kind of found her to be a bit of a wet blanket. She had no sense of humor. Not that any of us are surprised by that, but I don't remember anyone saying that Harry was too woke. I believe that the criticism at the time was that Meghan was just a bitch and that she was too woke. But I want you to look at this article, this headline, and realize this is all a part of the palace's plan to revitalize his image. Well, if they're going to accept Harry back, they need to explain and justify his behavior the last 5 years. And so what they're doing is they're putting it on some sort of woke philosophy. So now they're going to start this. And not to say that Harry wasn't woke before his royal exit. The thing is, Harry is still as woke as he was then. And when he was originally making said royal exit, they weren't blaming it on his politics. They were blaming it on Meghan. You might say, well, they're deflecting the blame off Meghan. Why isn't it Meghan's fault? No, but they're saying that Harry was behaving too woke because of Meghan, but that's not the real Harry. Harry really isn't like that. And so what this is this is about creating a different image for Harry. Why are they doing that? Because the palace is going to revitalize his image. He's going to become the prodigal son who returns back to the British royal family. People have been saying it for a long time, and there are still the majority of the people out there that think King Charles isn't going to welcome this man back into the family. He absolutely is. He's doing it. He's revitalizing Harry's image. And why is he doing it? Because a prodigal prince is better for Charles's image than a rogue prince and a disgraced prince. It will be better for Charles if they can revitalize Harry's image, return him back into the fold, so that when Charles either abdicates or passes on, he can then be seen to have brought the whole family back together. Everybody's happy. Forget Meghan Markle ever existed. Harry never went over and lived in the U.S. That's what Charles wants. He wants this to all fade away. And he wants, things back to normal. And that's what he's working towards. And I don't know how else to show people that it's happening. I mean, he's going to be back there on the balcony before too long. And my biggest question now, those that don't want to believe it, I get it. You don't want to believe it. The Brits who are sitting there saying, no way is that man welcome back. I want to ask you, what are you going to do when he's back there on the balcony? What are you going to say? Because I agree with you. He shouldn't be. I'm not saying that I think it's right for Charles to be doing this. Just the opposite. I think this guy should never be allowed back within the freaking UK, let alone back into the royal family. Although, admittedly, I don't really want him here either. But my question is, when it happens, are you going to complain? Are you going to raise a fuss? Are you going to tell the royal family of your displeasure? Or is this going to get swept under the rug and it's going to happen? I mean, it's in your hands. I'm American. I'm sitting here. I just want him out of my country, to be honest. But my question is, what are you all going to do if he is welcomed back? Because it's in your hands. Just like it's in your hands whether or not you make a loud enough complaint that the king is lying about how he says he can't take away the titles. Of course he can. He's the king. Kings have done it before. Kings will do it again. Just not this king. And I always find some sense of levity when people say, oh, Charles will never do it. He can't take it. The same people that say Charles cannot take the titles away from Harry and Meghan firmly believe William will fix it. Well, how's William going to fix it if he can't take away the titles? You just said the king can't. The king doesn't want to, because he wants to be able to revitalize and to rehabilitate Harry, and that's what's happening. And I hope that the Brits that say on X, in YouTube comments, on Instagram, that say every day, no way, that guy is not welcome back. I hope you stay strong in that, because I agree with you. But we'll see. That's what I have for you today. I understand that they were kind of, for random things, but I thought they were for important things that just weren't, none of them were equal to a video all by themselves. But I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you have a great day filled with love, laughter, and of course, dancing.
Dancing in